Hello, everyone. Thanks for everyone tuning in and listening to this. Today, we're speaking with someone who is inside Ukraine, not from the headlines, but from real life. The goal is just simple to understand what daily life looks like, what has changed, and why this matters for all of us in Europe. So, I'll leave it to you. Can you please introduce yourself? Who are you, and what do you do?
Of course. My name is Zach, and I'm originally from Dnipro, but I moved to Kiev more than 1 year ago. And my life divided in two parts: before war and during the war. And before war, I had my own restaurant in the city center of Dnipro, and we are making some parties, some cocktails. But now the circumstances is changing, and I started to work with humanitarian organization and business development organization who are working currently in Ukraine. For support us as Ukrainian, as a European country, and it is very important for us. Yeah, about my expertise, I'm working in the security field. I'm security expert and security specialist, security and safety specialist, and I have a lot of different skills, especially in open source intelligence, about analytics of different databases, and analyzes frontline, and how Russian aggression and different types of assets can impact our routine and our life.
Okay, so it sounds like your life has completely changed from what you said, what you used to do, what you do now. It has been affected. Well, we can say in a negative way, although probably it's always a learning experience when you do something new. So we can't say you've learned a lot of things along the way. Can't imagine it's that bad, but it has still changed significantly. So yeah. So what does it like, for example, now with all of this that's happening? What does a normal day look like for you?
Honestly, this is routine, and I can call this routine equal adaptation, because we adopted during past 4 years, and we have two realities. Of course, we are trying to live as usual as we can, but the concept, we woke up, and first thing which we are doing, maybe majority of all Ukrainians, this is looking on some Telegram channels or some sources to understand where is the impact during the night, because usually we have everyday strikes over the past 4 years. And this is like two realities. When we have a cup of coffee in the morning and listening some avia sirens every day, and we adopted for this. And of course, during the winter, our routine was, if your life, you plan your life, with the power outages. And if you will understand that you will not have power during your day, or maybe you will have power just only 4 hours per day, you have to put all your power banks, power stations, boiler, to have some capacity of electricity during power outages. Yeah.
And then the question from that is, it sounds like, again, it is a massive change, especially maybe for older people, but not even older people, for younger people, for everyone who's lived in the past and who's lived after that with consciousness. So, I mean, it is probably a question that everyone knows the answer to, but do people get used to it? Probably the answer is no. You can never get really fully used to something like that. But how do people manage? Anyway, they have to manage it. So how do they get used to that?
Yeah, in different ways, and first of all, this is some psychological support, because it's very important. I know that a lot of my people from my surroundings, have some pills, like something against PTSD and some kind of antidepressant. Because the routine, it is very tough, especially when you live in these circumstances. And the best thing which we can do, how to manage it, to be prepared and to be with cold heart and cold mind.
Okay, so it is just for the people. I think I want to give a broader picture because there's a lot of headlines, unfortunately, a lot of fake news. So hopefully this will give people what the reality is. And the reality is very tough. If you have to be living on antidepressants, on pills daily, that means you have constantly underlying stress, which even like we can't predict whether the conflict will end, will it not end, etc. But even if we accept that it ends next week, there's people will still be left with underlying conditions after that. I don't think it's something that you can forget, even if it's finished in a week or in a year, because these will stay inside
absolutely.
Yeah.
When the war just started, majority of all Ukrainians just think, that started, that's very tough, for all of us, but it will end soon, very soon. Like couple months, the conflict will be okay. But unfortunately, no, and a lot of people who thinks that the conflict will end soon, now they have some psychological problems, and people who adopted and who accepted the reality, it is much more manageable, and appropriate for this situation.
So from what you're saying, I kind of get it. It's like I don't have that much knowledge on this topic, but if you, for example, also when you have like mental issues, struggling with some issues, it's better to try and adapt it, not to fight it, because if you fight it, it becomes much more difficult. And then that's probably how the best way to cope now with the daily life in Ukraine. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
A lot of people also quite Ukraine, left Ukraine, because they cannot manage this situation.
Okay.
It is also our reality as well. We have a lot of internal IDP people, around Ukraine, and a lot of people moved abroad.
Okay, we've seen also, I think here in Bulgaria as well, we have now a big community, which hopefully we support well enough. I think there's a lot of organizations, NGOs, and people trying to help with that. But from after all of this, I can imagine what comes to my mind is then with these psychological changes, the war going on and everything that's happening, has the people mindset in general, do you think, changed also, the way of thinking of people?
Yes, that's true. That's true. I will do one little example, especially during first week of the war, and before war, Ukraine had a lot of different nationalities, and we had a lot of our internal conflicts. Especially with corruption, with oligarchs. But during the war, first week of the war, all Ukraine started to be like one mechanism, like a one body. And we made cocktails Molotov, for protect our city. We dug a lot of trenches around the city, and we helped our army. And we had a huge queues in the military offices, because people would like to protect their country. But now the situation changing a little bit, and but still we have a huge changes in the consciousness and minds of the people, and people started to be more responsible. More responsible for other people, and more responsible for the army and for the government as well. And these changes, this is quite a long process. And unfortunately, the huge percentage, a huge percentage of Russian corruption during these 30 years and our relationship with Russia, and this corruption and propaganda, like break, these bridges between reality, what we have now, and what people think.
I think that was the main goal I wanted to do, because we see everywhere, even outside of Ukraine, in Europe, in Bulgaria, everywhere, there's a lot of propaganda. So probably how important do you think is like information, like compared to the physical war? What's like, is it as equally important, do you think? Is it less? Is it more? How do you see information? And I mean, it could be false information. I'm not saying about like propaganda, for example. Yeah.
Honestly, during this propaganda changes, this is like a fatigue narrative in Ukraine. Like the Kremlin's primary goal is to convince the West that support is nothing. Like every support and help which you can send to Ukraine, there is nothing, because we are a huge Russian army, and this is just a narrative. It's not true, because Ukrainian army during past 4 years just showed to the whole world, and showed to Ukrainian how effectiveness we are, and how with what efficiency we can use this help and support. And of course, this is another part of Russian propaganda. I don't know, how it's in Bulgaria, but in Ukraine, this is like a corruption myth that's often weaponized to halt weapon deliveries. It's important to highlight the levels of digital monitoring, as well, currently in place, and propaganda targets vulnerabilities of the people. Money, inflation, some kind of fear of people, and Russian propaganda is trying to find the weaknesses, and to put on these weaknesses.
Okay, it is important to note that, because as you said, I think they are really trying to spread that everywhere. Probably it's in majority of Eastern Europe as well, not only in Ukraine now. I know that's a different topic, but briefly, in Hungary they have election. We know that this year potentially could be a change, but Orban is very close to Putin. You know, there's information that potentially he's the spy of the EU, etc. Now we have upcoming election here in Bulgaria, and I can see again a big chunk, and they're not small parties also are spreading this kind of stuff. So I do think that the reason probably for that is because they want to take away the EU from the European countries to make them weaker, and obviously it will be easier that way to try to consider something against them, or to rule them, or to continue to spread their narrative. So I agree with everything you said. But in that also, again, I think you partially answered this question, but how does this affect also the people inside Ukraine on the ground, or just the people inside, not only outside Ukraine? Because outside we know it affects a lot of people in a negative way, but inside, how does it affect them?
Inside Ukraine, that's impact all spheres, because unfortunately, our relationship with Russia during past not even 30 years, but much more longer. This is our neighborhood during the decades, during the centuries. And we always had a really difficult relationship with Russia, especially when Ukraine, this was a first country, 1,000 years ago, who started some relationship with Russia. But this is historical thing. But how does this impact our people, and the huge impact. This is some relatives, and this is money. Because during the huge inflation, people have a huge lack of money, and Russia is trying to destabilize the system, through some people who needs very fast earning. And this is terrorist attacks. This is hybrid warfare. This is some attacks on the cyber infrastructure as well. And of course, during every day we have a lot of news. All Ukrainians have a lot of news, who are on the ground, and this is impact in the different sides. Especially it depends from the person and personality, and people who are trying to analyze the information and understand. This is Ukraine, this is Russia, this is Bulgaria, this is Hungary. It's a lot of countries. This is a much bigger picture than we have now. We don't have just war against Russia and Ukraine. We have a more biggest war for democracy and for the way how we would like to live.
Yeah, so that would have been the next thing I wanted to ask. So because many people say, like I'm hearing here as well, oh, this is just a local conflict, or many people in Europe say this is just their local conflict. Why should we get involved? What's the point of us doing that? So what would you say to these people? How can we maybe make them better to understand that it's not a local conflict? For example, one thing I've said and I've heard, which I think is right for people to be said, is that Ukraine is kind of serving as the barrier at the moment between the rest of Europe, and this is the reason why it's kind of like external border. So this is one of the main reasons why if they don't believe anything else, they should at least believe that, because that's factual.
Yeah, that's factual, and this is not just only that Ukraine a wall between Russia and European countries, but the most important thing just to understand, and realize that Russia wants USSR again, and what we can to do with this. This is just make all what we can against this, because on our experience, how my parents lived in USSR, there is no best. This is not best option, and the biggest picture just showed to us that's a fact. This is a big war. How our world looks like in the next decades.
Yeah, I agree, because again, there's always, I guess, what other people are trying to do. Again, we can't convince everyone. There will always be people who wouldn't believe no matter what you do, but we are trying to at least get the majority of the people and expose them to information like this. Which brings me to the other question, again, slightly going backwards a few minutes back. So I know we spoke about there's a lot of propaganda, a lot of fake information, but many people just then ask, what's the best way to spot what's like real information, and what's best way to spot propaganda, which is, I think that's a very difficult question to answer. Again, there's a lot of AI now as well. The usage of AI makes it very easy to spread propaganda. So is the way to make these people believe is to hear maybe more people like you who are really there? Or I don't know how to really answer what to say to these people when they ask that question.
Unfortunately, very, very unfortunately, but the understanding of the situation becomes when the situation already came. And when you understand that you have to protect your family, protect your assets, your flats, all what you are living and earning during past years, and you must to protect it. And if it comes, the realizing of the situation comes as well. And the major things, which we can have and can accept. This is some preparation and acceptance of this. Try to understand the situation, understand the risks, and what is my plan.
Maybe people have to do their own research, also historical, because what tends to happen, as you mentioned as well, and I'm part of this, when we were probably in school, when we were educated in the past, because we are kind of told this by people who have lived also in the Soviet times, etc. Maybe like a small number of people as well have some kind of sympathy or nostalgia. I don't know how to call it exactly, but then that's why they don't really translate history in the factual way, but they put some nuances which they like. So it's important people do a lot of their own research and maybe compare both sides, and they can see the truth for themselves that way, because if they just read something ready, they could easily get tricked into propaganda.
100%.
Okay, so what the next question is, what happens then? I don't think that's possible, but we don't know in this world that we're living in. You see every day there's something crazy happening. There's a tendency in Europe that more of a far-right parties, or like, I don't know, parties associated with Russia, far-right, not caring about international relations that much anymore. So what happens if Europe stops supporting Ukraine, do you think? Is that going to be bad? How is that going to affect it?
Yeah, it's affected, because now we for maybe 85-90% we depend from the European countries' grants, and this is just for support economic, because 3 examples. We have Ukrainian hryvnia. Yes, it's our currency, and when just USSR was destroyed, we have our rate to US dollar 1 US dollar to Ukrainian hryvnias. Now,
Okay.
Today we have 45 hryvnias, 1 US dollar.
So this is about like 40 times that's, oh wow, that's a crazy inflation. So
That's crazy inflation.
How are people coping then, like to pay the basic things? I don't know, to pay their bills, to pay their mortgage or whatever. Well, what are they doing different? How are they managing?
That's tough. That's tough, and people are trying to work on the for international organizations, who are paying in US dollars, and people also trying to adapt and to manage the approach of the business. For example, if you open the business, you must have a generator, you must have inverter, with some accumulators, with some batteries. You understand that if you have some, for example, I don't know, some event hall, or some museum, you must have shelter.
Okay.
This is necessary. And
so it's probably very tough now as well to be doing that from a scratch now.
Yes, but over the past 4 years, Ukrainian business is growing. And especially in the digital sphere, and our IT specialists, they are making a lot of projects how to protect cyber data, and in general, I can say that Ukraine is doing a lot of different efforts, how to manage and adapt during these circumstances. But you asked me, in the start, about if we will have a decreasing of support of European countries. First thing, this is some money trenches. Yes, it will affect us because our inflation will be will be bigger. And the prices will go up, especially with situation now in the Gulf, in Persian countries, and this is second, and this is first, and second one, yes, it's about me our military support, because now the biggest military infrastructure facilities, they are producing some weapons for NATO countries.
Okay,
And
yeah.
because they are in the level of preparedness and awareness. And now, Ukraine just showed to all world that we have built a huge and very efficient system against Russian and Iranian drones Shahed. I can talk about it for many hours. It is very comprehensive system, but we built this system. But we have a lack of patriots, for intercept ballistic missiles.
Yeah.
That's we need this support, from US, from European countries, because that's very important.
And I'll talk about this in a second. Yeah, we signed the other day a deal with with Zelensky. But before that, just another thing I wanted to check. Speaking again about prices and inflation, so that people can understand really the basics. So, first question is, have many, like for example, people who had mortgages? Have you seen like more homeless people or people that couldn't afford and lost their homes? And second question is, how is the crisis now in Ukraine? How is affected fertility? So do you see like less families have less children now, or how is that being? These are the two questions that will show as well, like the pure demographics of this. Yeah.
Demographic situation is really bad in
Yeah.
Ukraine, because in 2022, 2023, a lot of women with children left Ukraine to Bulgaria, to Poland, around the world. And men in Ukraine, they are not allowed to leave the country. Men, they are just not leaving Ukraine and ready to support the economic, or go directly to the front line, or some other military industries. But fertilities in Ukraine now, it is huge increase. And that's true. Of course, that's impact us as a country. And the biggest impact we will see in the future years, not now, because this is a long process.
Yeah, it takes time.
It takes time, but of course, we have this problem. And but for example, all my friends now are with children.
Okay.
And also this is adopting, and for example, all kindergarten gardens, they have shelter, they have a hybrid system of education, online and offline, etc. And now, all children's, they know about war a lot. Like, they know, this is ballistic missile. Oh, this is massive bombardment. This is cruise missiles. Oh, this is from the sea. This is drone. They know how the drone sounds like. That's terrible. That's absolutely terrible, but that's facts.
It is. It sounds, especially for children, to have that information, because subconsciously, this will be in their mind, even if they grow older. Even again, as we said in the beginning, even if the conflict ever ends or whatever, this thing was not going to disappear. So it's the unfortunate reality. But just so people can understand that. And just on the other question as well, briefly about, because I don't know. Again, I've not made my research. How many people in Ukraine have mortgages, how many people are paying this before the war, after the war, but have you seen yourself as well, or are there many people that can't afford to pay their mortgage, for example, and have lost their houses, like more homeless people, or how does it work in that sense?
I don't think the huge increase of homeless people in Ukraine.
Okay.
I don't see this in the streets. at all. Like maybe in a couple percent, yeah, in the different places, but in general, a lot of people who which houses were destroyed, yeah, according to the Russian aggression. We have some support from the government, and
Okay.
and we have some vouchers, and you can yeah, according to this voucher, you can, yeah, buy some flat, yeah, for you. About mortgages, of course, the percent of yeah, which government and bank, yeah, will take from you, increase a bit, but there is not a huge difference between
Okay.
how it was and how it now.
So the banks are actually cooperating a little bit, I guess. Then,
Yes.
yeah. Oh,
Yes.
that's good to hear. Okay.
Yeah, and a lot of my friends also, they are buying some houses, some flats, some accommodation, and
Okay.
of course in Kyiv that's quite expensive, but the mortgage of 15-20 years, yeah, that's manageable. That's
Okay. Okay, that's at least a positive. That's good to hear. So just some closing kind of final questions again. So why? Because again, all the propaganda, all the misinformation, all of this, I want to leave a message for the people of Bulgaria. So firstly, why should they really care about this conflict? Why should they care as Bulgarians what's happening there? And what is it like the ordinary people here, or even the ordinary people in Europe anywhere, just can do in small ways to help or to contribute in a positive way?
First thing which I would like to say is that that's the biggest conflict, yeah, according to the all analytical information, yeah, will be, that's a fact, will be maybe in 1.5, maybe 2 years, more biggest conflict, and it will impact everyone on this planet, everyone. And for Bulgarian people, yeah, you have a great country, yeah, with sea, yeah, and that's very important yeah,
And
for
Black Sea is connected quite close with you. Yeah, that's right.
exactly, and when we've lost Crimea, when we've lost a huge part of the Black and Azov Sea, yeah, that's impacted us as well, and I don't want to say it will impact, yeah, Bulgaria country, but just for awareness, yeah, it's a big matter of maritime security, trade and ecology.
Maybe people to be more mindful. I don't know. Maybe the message could be, for example, now that we have coming election, just to think about who they're voting for. You know, is it pro-Russian? Is it pro-European? Is it pro-democratic party? Just maybe that's a small step they can take. I don't know. That's what I see.
100%. Yeah, if we compare the level of life in Russia, yeah, and some percentage of salaries in Russia and European countries, it will be like a huge difference. And I have a lot of relatives in Russia, and they don't live very well.
Yeah, that's what we and many other people try to say to people, that you know that there's many people that spread this propaganda, and they say how much nicer life there is, but if they're getting, for example, I don't know, just from the top of my head, a salary of 2,000 euro here for the job they do, there's no chance that they'll be getting 2,000 euro for the same job in Russia. I know there's a lot of like nice pictures they see from the center of Moscow, but again, another thing is that it's a massive country. It's not just the center of Moscow. We're talking about a massive territory, and it's completely different life in the smaller places.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And Russia has 144 million of population, but the majority of all these people, they are living in the villages without any communications, with the problems with power, with heating, with water. Yeah, and Moscow, of course, yes, this is the capital. All money of Russia in Moscow. and it's very obvious and logical. But in general, yeah, if you will go to the Russia, yeah, on the Google map, you will see maybe 7, 10 big cities, and in other cities this is just villages.
Yeah. Okay. That's yeah. That's exactly what kind of I want the people to hear. So just if you want any closing lines from you before we finalize.
Yeah, my maybe I don't know, maybe closing lines that first of all, yeah, the war is it not a movie. This is not a movie, and this is not very funny. And I've been in the different funerals, yeah, of my friends, because that's tough and that's unpredictable, and a million of broken lives, yeah. But now we have huge, incredible resilience for this. This is not bad, that's not good, that's just a fact. And in the final maybe point, yeah, don't maybe get used, yeah, to the war in the news, in the newspapers, in the magazines. Try to help people to be more kindness, and just to look on our example and make another choice.
Okay, thank you very much, Zach, for that. Hopefully, this was helpful. Really appreciate your time. Hopefully, the audience finds this interesting and helps them to change or to deepen their perspective a bit, if depending on which side they believe. So, this is the perspective you got actually from a person who is there, not just headlines. So, thanks everyone. Please support, follow the channel, and thank you. Have a good day, everyone, and have a good day, Zach.
Have a good day, Martin.
Bye.
Bye bye.